What's up guys, in today's video we're going to be getting the Platinum Trophy in one of the greatest PlayStation 3 games of all time, Uncharted Drake's Fortune. Dude, where? I can't see shit, man. They're f***ing everywhere, man. Oh, these are everywhere, bro. The Uncharted series is considered one of the greatest in video game history. And since getting into Platinum Trophy hunting, I've had this series recommended to me so much in my chats whenever I've been streaming on TikTok and Twitch. So after doing some searching the other day through my backlog, I figured it was a no-brainer to get started on the Uncharted series and get the Platinum for all of the games. And what better way than to start with the original Drake's Fortune. Now, I will be completing the remastered version that is part of the Nathan Drake collection, as this is just going to be a significantly easier Platinum. The PS3 version of Drake's Fortune released before trophies were added to PlayStation. Since then, trophies have been added to the PlayStation 3 version of the game, however it is very highly likely that the game will glitch and you often lose progress and therefore cannot obtain the Platinum Trophy. So basically, because of this, I figured it was just not worth the time and hassle to get the Platinum Trophy when I know that the PS4 version can be completed with absolutely no issues and we do not have to worry about anything glitching or not working. So overall, the Platinum Trophy for Drake's Fortune is the hardest out of all of the Uncharted games in the series. Now, it's not particularly hard, being rated at a 5 out of 10 for difficulty, requiring only one playthrough, and will take approximately 15 hours to complete. We have in total 46 trophies to collect, and there are no missable trophies. We do have 3 speedrun trophies for 3 specific levels. However, these are fairly straightforward, and honestly, the only thing that you're probably going to find hard is completing the game on the hardest difficulty known as crushing. As you'll see as we go along here, there are definitely some parts in certain levels where this crushing difficulty can be definitely frustrating. However, if you just keep persisting, learn where all the enemies are, you'll definitely complete this and it really won't be too hard at all. All of the rest of the trophies are pretty much for just completing every level, getting some combat trophies done, and then a whole heap of collectible stuff. Other than that, it's pretty easy and straightforward, so let's get into our Platinum Trophy journey. So the story begins here where we meet Nate and Elena, who are recovering a coffin of Sir Francis Drake off the coast of Panama. After opening the coffin, Nate finds a journal in the book with the location to El Dorado. Here is where we learn the basic controls and get an understanding of how the game is supposed to work. However, shortly after recovering the journal, pirates attack the boat and we are then rescued by Nate's good friend, Sully.
I can't leave you alone for a minute, can I?
I had everything under control until they...
After returning to land, Sully and Nate decide to leave Elena behind as they are worried that her filming may induce potential competitors and steal the treasure of El Dorado. And so Sully and Nate then arrive at the island and begin the initial search for El Dorado. So for those unfamiliar with the Uncharted series, the game progresses in a linear fashion where we progress through each level through traversal, like you can see here, solving puzzles, and then also fighting a series of enemies. So in Uncharted 1, we have 60 treasures to collect throughout the game, and after entering the cave here, we found our first treasure, which popped our very first trophy of the game. First treasure. Find one treasure. Okay, there we go. After exiting the cave, Nate and Sully then find a German U-boat stranded here in the middle of the forest, which is low-key kinda weird. Nate then enters the U-boat and here he finds another map with more coordinates pointing in another direction that they'll need to go in order to find El Dorado. After leaving the boat, the pair are then ambushed by Gabriel Roman, who then steals the map from Nate and then shoots Sully.
He's got nothing to do.
Sully!
The German U-boat then blows up and Nate uses this as a distraction to then run away. Whilst running away, he then runs into Elena and the pair work together to then leave the island. Here is where we get our first bit of action, and after killing 5 enemies in a row with headshots, I then pop my second trophy. Headshot expert. Kill 5 enemies in a row with headshots. Nate and Elena successfully escape in Sully's plane and here they travel to the next location on the map. However, in typical Uncharted fashion, the aeroplane engine blows up and Nate and Elena have to bail from the plane before it crashes.
Whoa! What the hell was that?
An anti-aircraft fire? This is so not cool!
However, in the process of bailing out of the plane, Nate and Elena become separated. After successfully parachuting down to the island, Nate then has to find Elena and hope that she is okay. Now, from this part of the game onwards, this is where you get to really experience the crushing difficulty of Uncharted. I feel like the first 2 or 3 levels kind of suck you into this false sense of security where you actually feel like the game is going to be easy, and then it just pretty much goes from 0 to 100 extremely quickly. In our first sequence of combat, we then popped our 3rd trophy for getting 20 headshots. 20 headshots. Kill 20 enemies with headshots. And so, like I said before, we then stumbled upon a few combat sequences which it was just so hard to get through, and unless you memorize where the enemies were coming from, you basically were pretty much getting killed instantly and rushed by a million people, and it just got super frustrating. Dude, where the heck did this little guy come from? Surely that's a checkpoint there, though, where the music changed. Yeah, I was going to say. The other thing that was extremely frustrating is that in Uncharted 1, the checkpoints for each combat sequence is rather long, and unless you get through the entire thing, you often get sent all the way back to the start, which just adds another element to your frustration. It's a headshot. Bro, they should have been dead. Oh my god. This guy's got aimbot. He's just run around the corner and melted me. So I did get a little bit stuck here in this level, and so because of that, I then had farmed a lot of kills with the AK-47 and the PM 9mm, and I popped 2 trophies for getting 50 kills with each of these weapons. 50 kills, AK-47. Kill 50 enemies with the AK-47. 50 kills, PM 9mm. Kill 50 enemies with the PM 9mm. I then finally managed to complete these areas and then found my 10th treasure. There we go. Novice Fortune Hunter. Find 10 treasures. We then arrived at the plane crash site, and after recovering our map, we then saw Elena's parachute over by the ruins. And so then Nate begins his rescue mission to try and find Elena. Being the accurate god I am, I then delved into my Call of Duty instincts and popped my next trophy for 100 headshots. 100 headshots. Kill 100 enemies with headshots. Okay. We then arrived at the ruins, and here I popped my next trophy for finding the strange relic. Now this is part of our 60 collectibles, however it is just a special one. Oh, I thought there might. Relic Finder. Find the strange relic. We then cleared all the enemies out of the ruins and then moved underground to continue our search for Elena. We then popped our next trophy for getting 20 kills with the Wes weapon. 20 kills, Wes 44. Emerging from the underground, we then found a note scrawled from Sir Francis Drake on the walls. This note again gives us another location for the location of El Dorado, and so again we continue to set out on this goose chase to find El Dorado. I then popped my next trophy for getting 50 kills with the micro 9mm. 50 kills, micro 9mm. Nate then discovers the next location he needs to travel to, and here he then spots Elena, who is filming everything.
Elena?
Hey, there she is.
However, we are ambushed and then captured. Wait, do I die there? Elena then helps us escape by pulling the wall down, and here we then have an epic car chase through the jungle. At the end of the chase, we run out of road and are then confronted and need to give back the map. However, Nate, deciding to go full crazy mode, reverses off the end of the road and falls into the water. With the help of Elena's camera footage, we then figure out where the colony would have then unloaded their cargo, and here we find out where the treasure may be located. And so then we begin the infamous jet ski mission. We then made it through the jet ski mission and then popped our next trophy for getting 250 headshots. 250 headshots. Defeat 250 enemies with headshots. Nate and Elena then arrive at the dock, and here they find a manifest describing the contents of the treasure.
The Esperanza sailed from Cayo, Peru, carrying 800 bars of gold, 1,200 silver emeralds, golden masks, ornaments.
I then had another major area where it was certainly a struggle to get through, and here I managed to farm 30 grenade kills and popped my next trophy. 30 kills. Okay, well, I don't know what that was, but... We then find the boat that we need to get off of the island, and then Elena shows us footage that Sully is now alive, and he is in fact not dead. We then find our jet ski, and here we head upriver to the monastery.
Let's head up to the monastery and see what's going on.
Nate and Elena then come across a man who has been captured in a spike trap, and Nate here starts to become suspicious that something might not be as it seems here on this island. I then found my 20th treasure, popping my next trophy. Intermediate Fortune Hunter. Found 20 treasures. We then started to run into some more high-powered enemies with more high-powered guns, and then we popped our next trophy for killing 50 enemies with the M4. 50 kills M4, kill 50 enemies with the M4. We then arrived at the monastery, and here Elena and Nate saved Sully from the bandits holding him captive. Sully was saved as he had the diary in his chest pocket, which took the bullet for him, preventing him from getting shot. He then lets Elena and Nate know that he has been deliberately misleading Roman, waiting for the pair to show up and save him. We then open up a secret passageway in the monastery, and this here will lead us to El Dorado. We then headed back underground underneath the monastery, and then we found our 30th treasure, popping our next trophy. Proficient Fortune Hunter. After solving a few more clues, Nate then realizes that Roman and Navarro are sitting right on top of the treasure vault, and he is going to have to either sneak or fight his way into getting the treasure.
That red herring you sent them on to get them out of the way?
Yeah?
Well, they're sitting right on top of the treasure vault.
After fighting our way into the tomb, we then open up a secret passageway leading underground to El Dorado. I then earned my next trophy for getting 50 kills with the 9.2 FS pistol. 50 kills, the 9.2 FS 9 mils. We then reached the end of the tomb, and here with Elena and Eddie, we then had to fight off a group of zombies. Now it turns out that these zombies were the original Spanish colony that lived here. However, when El Dorado arrived, it was cursed with the disease and turned them all crazy. We escaped the tomb and then have to run Crash Bandicoot style away from all of the zombies, and here I died quite a few times, so I got to farm 50 kills with the Moss 12 and pop my next trophy. 50 kills, Moss 12. Kill 50 enemies with the Moss 12. After escaping the tomb, Nate then needs to turn on the power so him and Elena can get the elevator and ride back up to the surface. Whilst turning on the elevator, we found a whole heap of Nazi documents, and here we earn the trophy for getting 30 kills with our MP40. 30 kills, MP40. Will it pause the game? Yes. Oh my god, it will. 30 kills with the MP40, bro. This is stressing me out. After turning on the power, Nate comes across some film, and here we see that the Nazis found El Dorado. However, they all died due to the Spanish people who had turned into zombies. He also finds a note from Sir Francis Drake indicating that he died here, trying to keep El Dorado hidden from the world. We then emerge and find that Gabriel and Navarro have recaptured Elena, and now they are going off to get El Dorado. So we then have to fight our way through a whole heap of enemies to catch up to Navarro and Gabriel and save Elena. And while doing so, we then popped another trophy for getting 30 kills with the Dragon Sniper. 30 kills, Dragon Sniper. Kill 30 enemies with the Dragon Sniper. I then picked up my 40th treasure, popping my next trophy. Professional Fortune Hunter, find 40 treasures. Nate and Sully finally catch up to Gabriel and Navarro, and here Gabriel opens up El Dorado, exposing him to the curse. He then turns into a zombie, and Navarro shoots him, killing him instantly. Navarro then decides to take El Dorado for himself and sell to the world.
Do you have any idea what this is worth? To the right buyer?
After chaining El Dorado up to a helicopter, Nate escapes by hanging onto El Dorado, and here Navarro flies it to a ship to transport it away. And then here we confront and fight Navarro, defeating him and saving the world from El Dorado. Okay, so you just had to run at him really quickly and punch him. Charted easy. Finish the game on easy without changing the difficulty. And ready? Charted normal. Finish the game on normal without changing the difficulty. Charted hard. Finish the game on hard without changing the difficulty. And charted crushing. Finish the game on crushing without changing the difficulty. Nate then saves Elena from the helicopter wreck. However, Navarro returns back to life, and here Nate pushes the helicopter off the ship, and the rope tangled around Navarro's leg drags him down to the depths of the ocean with El Dorado.
Adios, asshole.
Sully then shows up on another boat, and here he has stolen a whole heap of treasure from inside the tomb, and together the three of them leave the island, and the story is then finished. So with the game now finished, I then had to go back through, get all of the last remaining collectibles that I missed, and finish off any miscellaneous and combat related trophies that I didn't get in my first playthrough. So I did my first playthrough blind, and I missed around 15 collectibles, which I actually thought was pretty good considering I didn't follow a guide, and some of these collectibles are actually rather tricky to find. I also had a whole heap of combat trophies left over, and a lot of these are pretty tricky to get on the crushing difficulty, and you can easily go through chapter select and pick where to get them done, and if you just follow a guide on PSN profiles or YouTube, you'll be able to see where in each chapter you can get this done. But basically from here, we cleaned everything up and earned our last remaining 20 odd trophies. And so here in chapter 1 is a great place to farm the brutal combat trophy and get both the brawler and expert done.
Brutal brawler, kill 5 enemies with brutal combo. Brutal expert, kill 5 enemies in a row with brutal combo. Brutal Slugger. Kill 20 enemies with the brutal combo.
Now, as I was saying before, some of these combat-related trophies are certainly difficult to get done on crushing difficulty, and the Steel Fist trophy is one of them. I'd recommend getting this done in Chapter 2 and dropping the difficulty down so you are able to shoot someone once, run at them, and finish them off here with a punch.
Steel Fist. Kill 5 enemies with a single punch after weakening them with gunfire. 10, thank you. Steel Fist Expert. Kill 10 enemies a row with a single punch after weakening them with gunfire. Oh.
This section in Chapter 4 is a great place to farm the Grenade Hangman trophy. Just hang here, spam grenades, and reset the checkpoint once you have killed everyone, and you'll be able to farm your 10 kills.
Grenade Hangman. Kill 10 enemies with grenades while hanging. Hangman. Kill 20 enemies with gunfire while hanging.
Now, compared to the next few Uncharted games, there actually aren't many opportunities to complete stealth kills, so here at the end of Chapter 4, if you just reset this checkpoint, farm the same enemy over and over, you can get your stealth kills done here.
Master Ninja. Kill 50 enemies by melee attacking from behind.
And just a little bit further ahead is a great spot to pick up the grenade launcher that you get given in the level and kill 3 enemies with 1 explosion.
Triple Dynamite. Kill 3 enemies with 1 explosion. Bang. Dynamite Master. Kill 3 enemies with 1 explosion 5 times. 30 kills, M79. Kill 30 enemies with the M79.
I then got my 50th collectible here in Chapter 5.
Expert Fortune Hunter. Find 50 treasures.
And so from where I started before with the grenade launcher in Chapter 4, I then continued playing through Chapter 5 and 6 and eventually killed 75 enemies in a row.
There we go, Survivor. Kill 75 enemies in a row without dying.
I then moved a fair few chapters ahead to where I was missing a few more collectibles, and then whilst looking for them, I completed the Run and Gunner trophy for killing 20 enemies while firing from the hip.
Alright, Run and Gunner. Kill 20 enemies by shooting from the hip without aiming.
I then continued moving ahead, and here I farmed my 20 kills with the Desert 5 pistol.
Oh, it's only 20. 20 kills, Desert 5. Killed.
I then used photo mode before finally finishing off my last collectibles.
Shoot some B-roll for Elena. Explore photo mode. Master Fortune Hunter. Find 60 treasures. Master Thief Collection. Find all treasures and the strange relic.
So with all the trophies completed, all I had left to do was get the speedrun trophies. Now, I'd heard from a lot of people that these were actually harder than they looked. However, after doing it on the easiest difficulty, I got them all done in my first go and then finally popped my platinum trophy.
Bang. These walls can't stop me. Beat Chapter 5 The Fortress in less than 10 minutes. Up a short creek without a paddle. Beat Chapter 12 heading up river in less than 5 minutes. Well, that one. A speedy reunion. Beat Chapter 16 The Treasure Vault in less than 7 minutes. And... bidding! Platinum. Unlock all Uncharted Fortune Remastered trophies.
So Uncharted Drake's Fortune is easily the hardest Platinum trophy to get in the whole entire Uncharted series. There are just a few moments where the game is actually quite hard, however if you just take your time, memorize where the enemies are, you'll get through the crushing difficulty, and even though I know a lot of people are quite intimidated by it, it really isn't that hard. If you haven't got the Uncharted Platinums, then I would definitely recommend getting started, particularly if you're looking for something that's a little bit easier. Like always guys, if you could please leave a like and comment down below and subscribe if you haven't. I will see you guys all in the next one.